Hey guys, it's Sandro here, and today's video is a bit of a mixed bag, as we have a look at a few things such as how Cquartz Lite is holding up 9 months later on my car. And I'm also going to give you my initial thoughts on a few Shine Supply products you may have seen me using in some past videos, as well as a newish drying towel from the guys at NV Car Care. So more or less, this video was me coming in on the weekend to film and test a bunch of things while giving my old Honda Civic a maintenance wash, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So starting with the wheels, I want to firstly talk about Shine Supply Wise Guy Tire Cleaner. Also, just disregard the 1 to 10 dilution I've got labelled on the bottle, as in this video I'm using it at a 1 to 2 dilution, which I feel is the best overall dilution based on my testing and personal needs. Now it's actually quite crazy just how many products are in the Shine Supply range, which is a little overwhelming and even confusing at first due to the sheer volume of items to choose from. But out of the 24 or so products that I've tried so far over the last few months, I would actually say that Wise Guy is the one that's impressed me the most. To put it simply, it's an extremely capable, quick acting and amazingly effective tyre and wheel cleaner. Yet based on all my testing so far, it's been completely safe when it comes in contact with the rims, which will ultimately happen. It seems to have a good ability to cling to the tyre's surface with a little foaming action, and as you can hopefully see, within seconds it's starting to break down all that grime even before you put a brush to it. But as you start brushing the tyres and wheel wells, it's just amazing how easily it cuts through that grime, and I've had the very same experience with it over and over while using it on about a dozen different cars and wheels so far. So what I would say, if you're interested in trying just one of the Shine Supply products, give Wise Guy a go, as I just couldn't imagine anyone not liking it or being amazed at just how well it works. So next is Cool Guy, which is their ready to use pH balanced wheel cleaner. Now what I'd say based on my experience with it so far is that it's a great weekly maintenance rim cleaner, and one that's going to be safer on more sensitive surfaces and rims with existing coatings and sealants that you want to maintain and not strip off. So far I've tried it on clear coated, single stage painted and bare metal trims with no issues whatsoever. Though just like any wheel cleaner, you should always do a test section if you do have sensitive or uncoated rims. However, compared to some other more aggressive wheel cleaners out there, such as CarPro Tricks or Maguire's Wheel Brightener, I wouldn't say it's quite as capable as cutting through the grime on a set of really bad and neglected rims compared to some other wheel cleaners out there. But at the same time, you really don't want to be using those more aggressive wheel cleaners for maintenance wheel washes, but rather for periodic cleans once or twice a year to strip them down and reapply a coating. So my conclusion with Cool Guy is that it's a perfect and more than capable maintenance wash rim cleaner, yet be safe on almost any set of rims and allow you to keep your wheels protection in place. And lastly, it does in fact have a purple reaction to brake dust or metal particles like most wheel cleaners, but on my original steel Honda rims with tiny brakes, I never really see much of a purple reaction colour with any wheel cleaner.
Standing here, I like your vibe. Keep talking, it feels like you're knocking on my door. Crystal firelights, a hand on a shoulder, sliding down, losing track of time. Our moment is sober, taking over us. You're giving me shivers, baby. I left all my lipstick on, yeah. Don't wanna wipe off the smile I'm wearing. I just wanna dance. Been feeling lonely lately. Everything seems to go wrong. All around life is crazy.
Just before I talk about Shine Supply Shift car wash detergent, I'll get onto CarPro's Cquartz Lite ceramic coating and how it's been going and performing. Now some of you guys may have seen the original video review I did on Cquartz Lite, in which I explained how I received a sample of it a few months before its release, so it's actually just gone 9 months now since I applied it to my Civic. And if you're interested or have questions about its application, just check out that video, which should hopefully answer all those questions. I also want to be clear in saying that this car is usually parked undercover and a weekend driver, but I've actually been putting quite a few kilometers on it lately, and it has spent quite a bit of time parked outdoors over the last few months. So although it's not a daily driver, it's certainly no garage queen, as is the case with all my cars. And I'll also add that up until this point I've been washing the car just once a month, and I've not used any top coat sealants, waxes, or even quick detailers to maintain it. So what you're seeing is the Cquartz Lite coating on its own. Now for the most part, I'd like you guys to judge the performance of the coating for yourselves. And you can even watch the original video to compare how the coating performed just a few days after its application compared to 9 months on. But I've honestly been struggling to see the water behaviour diminish in any way after each wash over the last few months. And if I didn't know any better, I'd swear that it was the full strength Cquartz UK rather than Cquartz Lite on this car. The water beads are still sitting upright with great water contact angles, and the water is still shedding off the paint quite rapidly. And even after taking a couple of long drives out in the country, the paint still looks quite clean, and the dirt that does accumulate seems to come off super easy. So to put it simply, everything I'm seeing and experiencing with the coating is going really well. Now I'm not saying that if this car was a daily driver and was parked outside 24/7 that this still would be the case, as it most likely wouldn't be, but based on CarPro giving Cquartz Lite a 6 months plus durability rating, I'd still feel quite confident in saying that I couldn't imagine this coating completely failing within 6 months based on what I'm seeing 9 months later on this car. Now in the original video I did say that based on my chemical testing that I was really impressed with just how resistant Cquartz Lite seemed to be. And I'll actually stand by that testing and say that for the money you simply aren't going to find any coating on the market that even comes close to this in relation to performance. So all in all guys, I've got no reservations in saying that hands down Cquartz Lite is by far and away the best value coating by a long shot, and I just couldn't be more impressed by all the testing and results that I've seen to date. It under-promises and over-delivers, which I really love. So let's get to Shine Supply Shift. All in all, I'm not a huge fan of car wash detergents with added waxes, sealants, conditioners, enhancers, and so on. And believe it or not, just a couple of years ago, it was just so difficult to find a pure and simple car wash soap that just cleans without leaving something behind on the paint. But since products like CarPro Reset and NV Snow proved that many of us don't want all these additives in our car wash detergents, we're definitely starting to see a lot more of these purist car soaps enter the market, and Shift is certainly a very nice example of one. Now, what I look for in a quality maintenance car wash detergent is a good foaming ability when used with my pressure washer foam lance, as I do like to have that snow foam option. And I also want a detergent that's going to rinse off easily without leaving residue and streaks in the finish. When it comes to the hand wash stage, I'm obviously looking for a level of cleaning action that's going to easily lift off any light to moderate grime, but just as important, it needs to have great lubrication and provide a safe washing result. And in the end, all I want to see is my car's original paint protection in place, whether it be a wax, sealant or coating, cleaned and restored without the car wash detergent leaving its own finish or mark behind. So I just couldn't be more pleased with Shift in saying that it ticks all those boxes, and as much as I tried to find something negative to say about it, it's honestly hard to fault. It foams well, cleans well with fantastic lubrication, and I couldn't even find a hint of its own residue left behind, and that's after using it for quite a few washes on quite a few different cars. So all in all, a great purist maintenance car wash.
The light is bright, the light is mine. I'm beaming light, showing me the way to keep you all mine. Till I get closer, keep it, hold you. This journey is not over. I don't know how to get you. Don't know how to get. Don't know how to get you. Don't know how to get. I don't know how to get you. Don't know how to get you. How to get you.
Next up is the NV Supercell drying towel that a lot of you guys have been asking questions about, such as how does it compare to the CarPro Dehydrate towel or even the Geon Silk towel, which I haven't tried but seems to be the one that started this whole drying towel design. And I have to be honest in saying that they are all very similar, not only in look, but as far as I can tell also in performance. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, as I do really like the way both the Supercell and Dehydrate towel perform, and I'm also guessing that the Geon Silk towel would perform fairly similar. They all seem to have reduced friction compared to the more traditional drying towels, and also with near instant water absorption and a fairly streak-free finish. So all in all, this relatively newer drying towel design seems to be slowly becoming the standard, offering a safer and superior result, which is hard to argue with. Though I'll lastly add that compared to the Tempest high-tech drying towel that I've been using for many years, these towels really don't hold as much water, though to be fair, they are easier to wring out. So being satisfied that Cquartz Lite has gone way beyond its claims, and also being that I only have so many cars I can test products on, I decided to try Shine Supply Throttle Detail Spray over Cquartz Lite. Now, I'm not going to lie in saying that Shine Supply has a shipload of multiple spray sealants, multiple quick detailers, multiple detail sprays, and so on, which does seem a bit much and possibly a little overkill, especially for someone new to the brand. But Throttle Detail Spray, based on its description, was one that intrigued me a little more. So it's a detail spray for maintaining SiO2 based ceramic coatings or sealants, yet it doesn't contain SiO2 in its formulation. and its primary use or concern is to enhance or boost the coating's anti-static and hydrophobic behaviour to allow for a cleaner car and easier cleaning experience without imposing its own polymers or waxes that'll mask the coating, which on paper is definitely my kind of product. Now, I've actually tried a few more of Shine Supply's exterior sprays, and as far as user experience goes, I wouldn't say that Throttle is as easy or quick to apply as some of their quick detailers, but I certainly wouldn't say that it's as sticky or grippy to apply as some of their full strength spray sealants. So it really does sit somewhere in the middle, but I'd say that it's not going to be overly difficult to apply at all, especially when working on a cool panel out of direct sunlight. As far as slickness goes, it was really much the same, in that it was a definite step up in slickness over the bare ceramic coating, but also definitely not quite as slick as some other quick detailers out on the market. And although I did see a slight improvement over the overall finish of the paint, it certainly wasn't an overwhelming difference, but rather just a nice bump in gloss. Now, I'll have to get back to you guys in regards to things like water behaviour, anti-static and dust claims, but at this stage, as far as Throttle's description and claims to be a ceramic coating maintenance product, it really seems to stay true to that and deliver on what it claims to do, which is nice, and my impressions are so far quite good. And I'll lastly add that I pretty much coated this car from head to toe with Cquartz Lite, including all the trims, glass and wheels. And Throttle seemed to work great on all those surfaces, and even with a bit of standing water on certain areas, which I had absolutely no issue, so it seems like it could also work great as a drying aid. Last but certainly not least is Shine Supply Decked Out Tyre Dressing. Now if you do like a glossier finish on your tyres, you can certainly use Decked Out straight or at a 1:1 dilution. But if you're a bit like me and prefer more of a satin to matte finish, then I do recommend you dilute it with 2 parts water, which also makes it really cost effective. You can also spray it onto a tyre or foam applicator if you wish, but it also works just as well with a brush in this method. I personally like to leave it on for a good hour and a half or so, and then come back and level it down with a cloth, which is really what gives you that perfect, even and factory finish looking tyre, which I absolutely love. And if WiseGuy was my favourite Shine Supply product so far, I'd say that Decked Out is a close second, and honestly one of the best tyre dressings I've ever tried, alongside Zano Z16, CarPro Pearl and NV Onyx, being just a beautiful tyre dressing. So there you have it guys, just a little look at how I spend much of my free time testing and trialing detailing products. I'll conclude this video by saying that Cquartz Lite is a real winner, and not just going by my experience but also by what I've heard from many other detailers. I've only had a couple of months to test out a couple of dozen Shine Supply products, and although I'm not ready to draw any concrete conclusions as of yet, as a whole I will say that I've been impressed by what I've tried so far, and it does warrant me spending a little more time to explore this brand a little further. And I'll lastly add that whoever's responsible for developing and choosing the scents that go into the Shine Supply range deserves a medal, as they're just about the best smelling range I've ever had the pleasure to use. As always, I really hope you guys enjoyed and found this video useful. Please like, comment and subscribe to this channel to show your support for these videos, and I'll see you guys soon.
as you search forever inward to my soul, as you look deeper and break the walls and build a picture. One day I will see it clearer. Touch you softly, you will shiver. Hold you strong and you will quiver. Break the silence, I surrender to this dream of you forever. You my power, you my treasure, you my weakness, you my pleasure, you my saint, you my sinner. Show me all the ways that we can live forever. You my power, you my pleasure, you my weakness, you my treasure, you my saint, you my sinner. Show me all the ways that we can live forever. Hit the lights, I see you in the darkest of the night. Know that you have no reason to hide from me. Stepping lightly, you are in control. Touch you softly, you shiver. Girl, what I have to deliver. Break the silence, I surrender to this dream of you forever. You my power, you my treasure, you my weakness, you my pleasure.